1966 carries a very special birthday memory for me. I had just turned 7, and of course, Dad had abandoned the family. There's no money in the house. And so, just to tell you very frankly, there were no real presents. I don't think there were any birthday presents at that time. But Mom would do something special because it's your birthday. Want to make it special. So the day before, she would ask, what do you want for your birthday dinner? Everybody in the family, all 6 of us elementary kids, are going to eat it. And so you got to choose whatever you'd want. And so through the course of the calendar year, you could be in first grade, you could be in sixth. Whatever you called, everybody's going to eat. We had a grand time on that. I loved, ever since I can remember, I was obsessed with chicken, mashed potatoes, and green peas. I loved them. And every year I would have them. I think I had it all the way up through college, every time my birthday came around. And then you have to choose your dessert. What kind of cake? Mom had enough money for a cake. And I always wanted chocolate cake with chocolate icing. We lived in Hershey, so chocolate was always a favorite anyway. That's what I'd get. But there were no presents. I don't recall anything that was given as a present or anything like that. Okay, well, we were kind of used to it, poverty being poverty. But something happened about 2 weeks later. And my older siblings, my brothers, were away on like overnighters, or maybe I think my oldest brother was on some sort of a scouting camping weekend or something like that. And Mom had arranged for the 2 younger brothers of mine to be babysat by a dear lady down at the end of our country neighborhood. So my sister Gwen and I are together. And Mom takes us and gets us over into the Volkswagen bus and says, come on, we're going to go do something. And as we're going down the road, we have no idea, going down the country road, heading into Hershey and the vicinity. And Mom says, well, we're going to have a progressive dinner. Now, if you've ever had one, those were big things back in the 60s and 70s, that like maybe your group or your youth group, your church group, you would go house to house and you would have maybe an appetizer here, then you'd all pile in the cars and go over here. You'd have an entree and you'd have a salad over there and you go all over, okay? Well, Mom's saying this, and there's only 3 of us. Bless her heart, here's what Mom did. She felt for the fact that really there was no celebration for me. So she saved up, and I'm going to say literally nickels and dimes. And we pulled into a McDonald's, and she went in and came out. We're sitting there looking at each other. She came out, and McDonald's in those days had a generous bag of fries. And she says, and now we're going to start on fries. And we all split this big bag of fries, and we're really tickled on this. And then she goes on down the road, and I think that we went next to a Burger Chef. I don't think Burger King had been going very much. And in the area, Burger Chef was there. We went over there, and for a price, she was able to get each of us a small cup of Coke. Now, we never had soft drinks in those days, so this was big time. We stopped there. And we're giggling, and we're really getting a kick out of this. And Mom says, okay, now we're going to go on. And I think we went over to, it was called the Red Barn. I think it was in Camp Hill, Pennsylvania. Some of my Pennsylvania friends might remember that. It's a real cool fast food place. I didn't make it. But they had a nice size hamburger. And Mom pulled us up there and got a generous size hamburger. A hamburger now. Not some sort of a Whopper thing, a hamburger, and we split it. Look, we're really having a great time with this. And she finishes up over at Dairy Queen. And then she says, okay, what would you like? And she saved up the rest of the nickels, some dimes, and I think I saw some quarters in her hand. And she's going to, do something special. Gwen said, I really want a dilly bar. And Mom said, that's what I would like. Brad, what would you like? And she knew that I had a weakness for banana splits. Can you believe this? And she had just enough, so Gwen had a dilly bar, Mom had a dilly bar, I had a banana split. And you know something? There's no presents, no celebration, no bunting that you could have that would have taken away the beauty of that memory. I remember Mom holding, as she was driving that Volkswagen bus, a handful of silver, dimes and nickels and everything, and had it planned all out to the big ending. That's the way my mom was. And she had a wonderful time with it as well. We giggled, laughed, guffawed all the way through for this. I don't recall that we did anything else, and we headed back home satisfied. Boy, we really hit the town that time. And you know something? I think about this. When you're with precious people, even the leanest of times can be very, very special. And I think of what my mom would exemplify. 1 Corinthians 13, that love, that agape love, that self-sacrificial love, which it says, it builds up. It is patient. It is kind. And her kindness still lives on in these wonderful memories. Yep, a progressive dinner at the local fast food restaurants. What a celebration for my birthday.